What's up, guys? Welcome back to the podcast, guys. We are going to get into another reaction video. Please make sure to subscribe to the channel, like the video, and share this video if you like what you see. And if you think anybody else can use this video, spread it across. Let's get into it.
So today's video is going to be by a man named Orion Taraban, also known as Psychacks on YouTube. He is a clinical psychologist based out of San Francisco. He's really known for his YouTube channel where he basically makes videos talking about like different problems in life regarding happiness. And in this particular video, he addresses a very massive issue with modern women. So let's play the video and we'll react to it.
Not only do women often not appreciate that they might be contributing to their own difficulties, they don't want to hear how they might be contributing to their own difficulties, even when they ask for how they are contributing to their difficulties. So I'm going to take one for the team here because I'm on a screen, so you can't really, come after me. Women, the shit I have heard you say in my lifetime, if I were to say to another man, I would get knocked into next fucking week. You have to understand that a man is like both an angel and an animal. We're not all good and we're not all bad. And the animal is going to respond how you would expect an animal to respond. Disrespecting, criticizing, or attacking a man is going to arouse the animal in him. Expressing contempt for a man while at the same time expecting that he exercise perfect angelic patience and self-transcendence with you doesn't make a lot of sense, does it? You wouldn't go around slapping rattlesnakes.
Yeah.
So what are your thoughts on the video? He makes some very good points, very deep intellectual points. What do you think?
Great video. I really like this guy's channel. He's brilliant with how he addresses things, and like he explains it in a way where he gets right to the chase, but he's not disrespectful. What he's addressing in this video is a massive problem that I think most guys face with women overall across all ages in modern time. Okay. What is he addressing? He's addressing the fact that women nowadays have gotten extremely comfortable with being disrespectful, with criticizing men, with attacking men. And not only do they take no accountability for it, but they don't even want to hear what we have to say about it.
Not at all. Not at all. The fact of the matter is that women are so quick to disrespect a guy, attack a guy, and really put down a guy, criticize a guy, to the point where he flips out. And when you get a guy to that point, there's no going back sometimes. You bring that emotion out of a guy. And there's some guys that nowadays you see more and more that there's many guys out there that when they get those emotions too high by a woman, they react in bad ways. And you don't want an emotional man. That's very dangerous sometimes. Emotional men are dangerous. I mean, emotional men are out there committing crimes and doing bad things and acting up in all sorts of bad ways. So just to keep it plain and simple, you don't want an emotional guy. You don't want to be dealing with an emotional guy. And there's no reason to get a guy to that point if you don't contribute to it.
He starts the video off by basically saying that women don't even realize or want to hear how they are contributing to their own difficulties. So just think about that statement itself, right? Women don't realize the problems that they are causing, okay? There's a term that women use nowadays it's called mansplaining, right? What we're doing on this podcast, women would listen to it and consider that mansplaining. So that's basically just saying like they don't want to hear a man explaining a male point of view on a topic because they know better. Women they're so independent now that they don't need a man's input. That's basically what it is. So that's what he starts the video off with. Now he says something interesting. He said that men are both angels and animals at the same time. Very true. That's very true. And what happens most of the time? If you encounter or deal with a woman that's disrespectful, that criticizes you, that attacks you, you really, as a man, have a few choices. You could either react to it emotionally, All right, that's one way to do it, which is not the correct way to do it, because that you could end up in jail. There's a lot of different ways that could go south very quickly.
Well, that's where you bring out the animal in the guy.
That's how you bring out the animal in a guy, or you could just stay calm about it. But like he said in the video, does that really make sense for a guy to deal with a woman like this and still be the angel? It doesn't, right? So for men nowadays, it's like a lose-lose situation, because if you're dealing with women like this, you can't react emotionally. You can't just sit there and take it, because then she's just going to walk all over you. So the only last step you can take is to just walk out, right? And that's why so many men are complaining nowadays and saying like dating is not worth it. There's the entire MGTOW movement, men going their own way. You have Red Pill. You have an entire space of podcasters and YouTube channels that talk about this stuff. Where did this all come from? This, you know what I mean?
You make a great point with men walking away. Men are better off walking away than letting a woman raise their emotions, letting a woman get the animal out of him. As he said, men are angels or animals. How are they angels? Because we didn't touch on that. They are angels when women bring peace. They bring no stress. When, let's say, they live together and he's home, she comes home, or vice versa, however they work it. And when she's coming into his zone, she's bringing peace. She's not bringing stress. She's making his life easier. That could involve many things that we've talked about in the past. And that's what guys want for a life to move forward smoothly and not have all these headaches and all this nonsense. It's unnecessary, and women like to get a rise out of men. You know, they like to bring that animal out of men.
Yeah, what I was actually going to say is, I believe that women absolutely know the power they have when it comes to like manipulating a man's emotions, because that's really like one of their powers. I remember watching another video. I think it was a different YouTuber where he said that it might have been Jordan Peterson, come to think of it, where he said women can't physically challenge you because they're weaker, they're smaller in size. They know they can't physically challenge you, so their only other option is to challenge you mentally. Okay, so that's like a woman's like power in terms of like aggravating you or controlling you or like setting you off. They do it emotionally. They do it through words. They do it through these things: disrespect, criticizing, attacking. Because that's really the only power they have against you, right?
The thing is that, as you said, they can't physically get to you, so they get to what? They get to your mind. Mm-hmm. They're passive-aggressive, or they're just flat-out aggressive, disrespectful, critical of you, just bad attitude overall, and that'll get to a guy. So if you want your guy to be an angel, you don't cause him harm mentally, emotionally, physically. You bring that peace and harmony into his life. You know, that's the thing with what's going on nowadays, is that most women are driving guys crazy.
Yeah. That's what that's exactly why so many guys are stepping out of dating altogether, because no guy wants to deal with this. And I think guys know what the end result of dealing with a woman like this could be.
And that's why they step out, because think about it, the end result could be acting out of emotion. There's guys that hit women. We don't promote that at all, but guys do that. They end up going to jail because of it. Some guys end up killing women. It's scary.
It can end very badly for both sides.
And it should never, ever get to that point.
Exactly.
Never.
That's the main thing. Yeah.
Okay. We never promote harm to women at all. We promote protection for women. We promote caring for women, loving women. That's what we promote. We care about women. We like women. There's no hate for women here.
No.
And there's guys out there that it gets to a boiling point where it's just too much, and some guys just flip out. I mean, they really want to stick with that woman, so they'll fight for it by acting out on their emotions. Some guys, when they're done and they want to step away, they're done and they won't fight for it. You'll know when a guy doesn't want to fight for you, and some are better off for it, because you don't want it to get to the point where a guy is acting out of emotion and doing all these crazy things.
Push to his limits.
Yeah, and gets into trouble, and some drastic things happen, and you don't want that. You don't want to see that.
There's a big difference between normal disrespect, criticizing from women, because at a certain point or another, you're always going to deal with a certain amount of it. I think it's unrealistic to date a woman that's never going to criticize you or disrespect you. It just comes with the territory. When it becomes a problem is when that's her personality and that's her daily, prerogative. Like, that's just how she is. And we've all encountered women like that they just, like, everything that comes out of their mouth is disrespect. And like I said at the beginning of this video, women have become very comfortable with it because, like we've said many times, there's no accountability for it. If a woman chooses to, she could be an absolute monster of a human being. There's no accountability for it at all.
Well, as a
feminism, women empowerment. A couple weeks ago, I remember I turned on Netflix and I see women empowerment. What the hell does that have to do with movies? I'm trying to watch a movie or a TV show, and I see women empowerment. This all just fuels it even more because women don't have a reason to have to care what men have to say. They know they're not going to be held accountable for how they act because why? How are they going to be held accountable? By who?
Well, that's what I was going to say. Men have to put these women in check and hold them accountable for their actions, just like a woman would hold the guy accountable for his actions if he does something wrong. But in this case, we're talking about a guy being an angel and a guy being an animal. A guy's an angel towards you because he wants to make the relationship work. He cares about you. He loves you. He wants, he may want you for you. He may want you to have sex with you, whatever the case is. Guys want to be around you for whatever reason. But he's an angel because of it. He'll kiss your ass because of it. However, if you get him, again, to that point where you upset him, there's guys that aren't going to take it. There's guys that are going to walk away. They're going to get mad. However, there are guys that will take it. There are guys that won't hold women accountable. And for the guys out there that do that, you letting it go, it's the wrong move. Because what do you expect to happen a day later, a week later, a month later, 2, 3, 5 years, 10 years later, if you're still with her? You think it's going to change? No, because you didn't do anything about it.
Yeah.
And the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. I would personally go insane if I let that happen over and over again and I didn't step in and do something about it. If I didn't step in and check my woman. If I didn't tell her, hey, what you're doing is wrong, and if you don't fix it, this is what's going to happen in the relationship.
100%. You have to address it, and if it continues, really the right thing to do in a case like this would be to step out. I'll wrap it up with this. I think this is a great video. Go check out the rest of his videos. The YouTube channel is called Psychacks. I really hope this video makes its way around. I hope women see this more because this is a prime example of, like, he's basically holding them accountable to their actions, but he's not being disrespectful at all. I think he did it with class. He's obviously a very intelligent guy. He's a psychologist, so he's oriented. He's educated in this topic. He works in an office in San Francisco where he deals with clients every day, so he knows what he's talking about.
And I love what he said when he said, it doesn't make sense to expect perfect angelic patience from a man if you are disrespecting him, you're giving him attitude.
It doesn't make sense.
So
at all.
And the quote that he mentioned where he said you wouldn't go around slapping rattlesnakes.
Yeah.
If you slap a rattlesnake, what is he going to do? It's going to bite you. So same idea. Same,
It's playing with
comparison.
Fire. It's playing with fire. When women act like that, they are causing a bigger and bigger problem. And I agree completely with him. I don't think they're even aware of what they're doing, what kind of mess they're causing. And this is just like the early stages of this, because this is like what's been going on with modern women that act this way. It's relatively new. Like this wasn't a problem 10, 20 years ago. It's in the last, 5 years or so.
A quick teaching moment for women here. Ladies, look in the mirror and realize what you're doing when your guy gets mad at you. If there's a guy that you're upsetting, of course, you haven't hit his boiling point yet. Hopefully, it never gets to that point because that's when things can go so far off. But when you are upsetting your guy and he tells you that you're upsetting him and what's going on, do an argument in the mirror by yourself without him around and see yourself arguing.
Record yourself. Play it back to yourself.
Or record yourself. See what you would be saying to him and you would see yourself in the mirror saying it to yourself and see how crazy you look,
Yeah.
how crazy you sound.
Exactly.
And
Record
then,
yourself, calm down, wait a day or two, and then play it back to yourself and ask yourself if you want to listen to that shit.
then maybe you'll make some changes. Maybe your relationship will improve when you make those changes. So that's just a word of advice. Very simple, straightforward. It's stuff that we're telling you here. But yeah, definitely subscribe to Psychacks. He's great. He's great. We just came across him recently, and shout out to him. He did a good job. So subscribe, like his video. And like his videos, he's got more gems out that I definitely saw.
Oh, yeah, I could watch his videos for hours on end. The
Yeah.
other day, I went on his channel. I was just like watching video after video. So definitely go check him out. And that's it for today's reaction video. We'll see you on the next one.